Okay, it is, it's my mother-in-law calling me. She's gonna have to wait. It is 10:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August 29th, 2011, Monday. About to burp. I just finished my breakfast, lunch, brunch kind of thing. I wanted to just briefly and gently to myself as I can discuss some things. I just subscribed to a friend of a friend's YouTube channel. I can't remember his name offhand. Let me see. Because I really want to do a shout out to him because he is an awesome dude. Just by watching one of his videos, I know that. So let me just see right here. Subscriptions. And he was my last one. So, oh, of course, autobiography. What was his name? Boogie? There we go. Boogie Down 550. Okay. I will, what I will do is I will, put his link on the bottom in the comment section or in the description, actually. Put it in the description. It's this way or this way. I don't know. YouTube, you keep changing this shit. I can't keep track. Anyway, well, my name is the Hippie Chick, aka Fiona Tierney. Not my real name, because I have always preserved my identity online ever since I started my little online journey back in 1998. So, tells you quite a bit about me already, that I knew from the beginning of starting. But anyway, well, my screen name a long time ago was Hippie Chick JLC. But anyway, he talked about how people sometimes use eating as a way to assuage their emotions, and you know, I agree with that completely. And here's why. I know that I don't look obese. I know that I don't fit that particular category of those that have eating disorders, but I do have one. It took me a long time to actually realize that. But when I was young, there wasn't a whole lot of food around, you know, growing up on welfare, poor. My dad, he was on disability. He would try to work, but they'd send him home going, look, dude, you just can't do this work. Your back is messed up. You got this wrong with you. He worked at the steel mills and got injured back in the 70s, and this before OSHA and all that stuff. So, anyway, you know, my mother was paranoid schizophrenic. She couldn't work even if she wanted to. She tried. In the 60s, she was a nurse. She was a nurse's assistant, and then suddenly she got hospitalized. And then by the time she got out of the Cleveland Psychiatric Institute, she was working at McDonald's. So I don't know. And she was very, very obese woman. Huge! But I loved her. And I thought she was just an awesome, wonderful, kick-ass person. And so years later, after she had died, I had, you know, there was therapists and oologists of all kinds of sorts telling me that she was paranoid schizophrenic, and I was like, no, she wasn't. She was cool. You know, I had the coolest mom ever, you know, she was badass, and they're like, no, she wasn't. You know, she had an illness in her head, and it's like, no, she wasn't. She wasn't sick in the head, she was sick in the body. Whatever. In some of my video blogs, I do talk about that. About some of my theories and suspicions and stuff like that. Today, no. But she was obese, you know, and she'd always tell me, you know, look, you know, sometimes people aren't going to be around to take care of you. You're going to have to take care of yourself. And she would tell me things in, like, really weird parables or whatever. You know, a man doesn't like a woman who gives him any blarney. It's like, what? you know. And looking back on it, it's like, I know what she was talking about now. You know, but as a kid, you're all like, what? I love you too, Mom. Keep rocking. But she did not like the government. She did not like the way things were going in the 60s and 70s. She was a hippie. She just said, look, she's like, I love the way that the country was, what it was supposed to be when the country was formed. She's like, I love America, but I don't like how it's being ran. I don't like, how all of us are being treated like crap. And the whole thing of it is, the whole food industry will tell you, hungry, eat this. Hungry and you gotta go, here, eat this quick thing. Here, hungry and that it's like you're bombarded with all these messages from the media, from your family, from your friends, because they're getting bombarded from the media. You're getting bombarded from advertisements. And, and it's like you either had food or you didn't have food. So when you didn't have food, what happens? Your adrenaline kicks up. So you're running off of basically natural drugs in your body to go, 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 go. And then by the time that the stress is done and dealt with, you're like, oh, I need a nap. And you take a nap. It's the whole fight or flight complex, okay? Now, I'm going to try to be as concise as I can. When I was about almost before I turned 13, I struggled with that whole thing where I didn't really like eating a whole lot. I was put in a group home at 9 years old, and they would say, look, eat. And it's like, because I was used to eating just a little bit and then go, 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 go. Well, when they finally broke me out of that, I started eating obsessively, constantly, wanting to eat candy and junk and this and that, and and I went nuts. And they thought I was hypoglycemic, because it was like, okay, you eat all this and then all of a sudden you get tired. Oh, honey, if that ever happens, come down and eat a cracker. Come down to the nurse station, eat a cracker or whatever, And I was like, why? And they're just like, just do it. Okay. Sorry, looking for my snacks. Got 2 left. I'm trying to make them last. Yeah, I smoke too. I like my addictions. Some of them comfort me and some of them bad. Anyway, you come from that environment where you had no food, and then you go into another environment where there's plenty of food, and you go nuts, and you start eating everything in sight. However, I kept my size and everything because I started planting a garden. I was in the 4-H program at this particular group home. I kept my own garden and was able to actually eat my own stuff that I grew. And it was like, wow, I love me some fruits and vegetables. Damn, this is good. And then I read up that fruits and vegetables help prevent cancer. I was like, well, hell, my mom died from cancer. This is one way that I can keep myself from getting it myself. Nom, nom, nom. So, my sugar stayed pretty good. I had a couple times where I'd slip, like around the holidays or something like that. But, who doesn't? I didn't really see it as much of a problem growing up. And then you get into high school, or get into 8th grade. I moved halfway across the country to another group home, which I will not name because it is a very famous one, and I'm not trying to diss them, I'm just stating the facts. Of different things that happened to me, but and it wasn't their fault. They basically were like, look, here's some food. Oh my God, we've got a monster here. And all it really was nobody sat me down and said, look, you come from this environment to this one, and now you're in this one, you need to transition properly. Nobody sat me down and said that to me. Nobody sensed that need to. You know, they just automatically assumed that I was raised to take care of myself. I was going on 13 years old, you know, and I would tell people constantly, you know, my daddy said the day my mama died that I'm an adult and I'm responsible for myself. I'm like, well, all right, then you better act like it. Was their response. Which, you know, that's what I say to my son now, you know, even though it bothered me when I was a kid. I say to my son all the time, you want to be a little man? You want to be my young man? Well, guess what? You're going to have to act like a young man in order to keep your privileges. And then he just looks at me like, oh, Mom, I don't like you now. I don't understand. You were cool when I was a kid. Now that I'm in second grade, oh, no. Something's not right, Mom. You know, and I'm very strict about their diets. You know, I make sure that they have one protein, one starch, one fruit or vegetable every meal. And then I alternate, like if they had a fruit with breakfast, they'll have a vegetable for a midday snack or breakfast and lunch snack. You know, or they'll have a rice cake, which is basically filler. Okay, or raisins. And they get sweets every now and then, but it's very sporadic. It's not that I'm being a mean mommy. It's just I don't want them to grow up the way I did. I want them to grow up having it ingrained in their mind, going, okay, you know, this, you know, and as they get older, they'll understand. I'll explain the whole food pyramid, not the freaking slip and slide that we have now, the actual goddamn pyramid that was taught to me when I was in school, because that shit makes sense. The little stripey-doo thing, no, I don't get it. Oh wait, no, they changed it to a plate. It's not a triangle at all anymore. Now it's a freaking plate. You know, I don't know. Okay, I'll explain it to my kids the best I can and hope that they understand. Part 2 coming right up. Hopefully it's the last part.